focus because to see all of those things, or you need to have like a lot of experience, or you need to have like a notepad or something. So my question is, do you have like a checklist or anything that I can exercise with when I'm checking those brands? Like, okay, the traffic, okay, can we copy this product, etc., etc.
Yeah. I'd say the first thing that is actually like the biggest competitive advantage that I have is, I would say, instinct. And instinct just comes off experience. So seeing like thousands and thousands of products over the years, and also seeing what products have worked for myself over the years in certain niches. But then also, like, I'm obviously really well connected within the e-commerce space as well. So I have like loads of my friends who I know that are like scaling to insane numbers, what type of products they're running. Even within this Discord as well, I get people sending me their stores and telling me how much revenue they're doing. So I just have a really good grasp on what's working right now. So instinct is like the first thing, but that's something that you have to train over time. And the more products that you look at, even the more videos that you watch of me dropping these product videos every single day, you'll start to learn my thought process and why I'm actually selecting these products. I would say when it comes to strategical things, obviously like the first thing that you want to look at if you don't have a huge budget is looking for something that already has product market fit. So something that someone else has already validated. So for example, the video that I did yesterday, I put a screenshot of the ad library. They're running 190 ad results. So although we can't exactly determine how much revenue that's equating to, we know that their ads are profitable, or else they wouldn't be running their ads. They would have been turned off now, and they wouldn't be running such a high volume. So ad library is like really like the easiest way to gauge how successful they are. And then the second thing that I look for is website traffic. So pretty much every single time I see a competitor or I look at a product, I check at what their website traffic is. Because obviously if they're running meta ads at scale and then you cross check that with their website traffic and it's on a nice uptrend, it shows that you're not like late into the product. If something is just starting to take off and it's clearly showing an uptrend, as like a crypto coin would or anything else, it shows that it's like it is working. Like they're scaling up, they're pushing up their budget, they're not actually downscaling. So ideally, a lot of ads running within ad library, I would usually say like at least 50 plus is usually a sign that they're spending at least a couple of thousand per day on ads. Then also look at their website traffic. And then the next thing that you want to look at is obviously, can you source the product? Are they drop shipping? Are they a brand? Even if they are a brand, can I actually source a product? Can I source a very similar product? Or can I source a product that is completely different to this brand, but it solves the same solution essentially, or a very similar solution? So honestly, like the validating part, it's people overcomplicate it, but it's very simple. Is there a demand there? Are they spending money? Are they scaling up? Yes, they are. Okay, like now I guess the last thing is, where's the opportunity here? Like how can I compete with these guys? So for example, the product that I posted, which is the gardening lights, like the solar beam lights, that store is only running in Australia. So when you look at SimilarWeb, pretty much 90% of their traffic is coming from Australia. So that's like the first opportunity that I see. So now if I was doing like extra due diligence on that product, I would be thinking to myself, okay, if these guys are running in Australia at scale, then is there anyone that's running in the UK at scale? Is there anyone that's running in the US at scale? And then look for the opportunity on the actual market side of things. You could have other opportunities as well. Like there's another product that I've dropped, and I mentioned it in the video, but they were only running one specific type of creatives. And as I just said, to really scale and give yourself the best chance of success, you need to be running all type of creatives. You need to be running AI voiceovers. You need to be running UGC. You need to be running static ads. And I said this on one of the builders chat calls. When Mete first found his product, when we were analyzing the product, even though the competitor had been running the product for about 2 years, so it wasn't a brand new product to the market, but when we were looking at their ad library and looking for this opportunity, what we noticed is that they were only really running statics and UGC content. They weren't running any content that we talk about within this Discord, which is the AI voiceovers with direct response scripts. So that was his way into the market. So once you've like validated the first initial things, which is are they scaling on ads? Do they have product market fit? Do they have good website traffic? Then it's okay, like where's my entry into this product? And it could be a number of different things.
Yes, very nice. Thank you very much. I understand. So
Yeah.
just validate the first things like traffic, etc. Then the entry.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's,
Thank you
it's
very much.
yeah, it's pretty much the most important thing because I would say like most people who are testing products within who are like trying to make it work drop shipping, they're basically just ripping what competitors are already doing. So they'll rip their landing page, they'll rip their ads, they'll basically replicate 100% of what they're doing because that's what people get taught to do. It's like don't reinvent the wheel, just copy what's already working. And you can do that to a certain degree, but if you're just going to directly copy one for one absolutely everything, then really how are you going to compete with the main competitor who's got market share? Like you're not. Like if the main competitor is spending 20K per day on ads and you come in with a $140 per day budget and ABO with 7 ad sets, $20 each, like it's very, very hard for you to compete. So you need to look for an opportunity that the main competitor isn't utilizing right now. And then that's how you almost get like a foot in the doorway and get some initial momentum. And honestly, like the best way to do it is I used the creative example there with Mete, but Mete, it took him maybe about 2 months for him to be like really profitable and get to a stage where he could actually compete with the main competitor. But one of the best ways is markets. Literally just go to a market that is being underutilized by the main competitor. So most people are scaling heavily within US because it's the most favorable market. It's got the highest amount of purchasing power. But if you go into some of these other markets like Australia, UK, these are two amazing markets that I've had a ton of success in. So yeah, a lot of the time the markets is the easiest way.
Okay,
Thank you
what's
very
your
much.
thoughts on, um, you know how we were talking about providing a different product, that offers the same solution?
Yeah.
What about providing a product that is the exact same, but it's just a different packaging? Like let's say it's just a hair growth shampoo thing, but you're offering a different shampoo bottle, but it's just a different,
Yeah.
it just has a different look. Can that still
Um,
work?
yeah, so it could work, but what I would say would be better in that scenario is like there's a brand that sells they're called the Earthling Co. And some people might have heard of them within this chat, but they basically sell shampoo, but it comes in like a bar version. Now, they don't really have like a key USP behind it. I think I would have to pull them up, but they basically
It's a
just sell.
marshmallow root or something.
Sorry?
Oh, that's their USP, isn't it? Their like ingredient, marshmallow root.
Yeah, something along those lines. Let me see. But basically, what I would do in this scenario is let me just see. So yeah, so like their homepage basically just says say goodbye to bad hair days, shampoo and conditioner bars for all head types. And they're basically saying how this is longer lasting than your traditional supermarket shampoos and it's better for the environment, blah, blah, blah. So instead of just like repackaging this product, actually the best thing to do here is, and I'm just going to share my screen real quick so you guys can see. Uh, can you guys see this okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is the product here, and like these guys are scaling heavy. So if we look at their web traffic, they're at 250 website visitors per month, and you can see that most of their traffic is all coming from the US. So straight away, as I was talking about opportunity, like one of the opportunities here, there's two opportunities that I see here. The first opportunity is you can obviously go into other markets. So you can see that Australia isn't actually being really hit here. UK is only at 2%. So instead of going into the US and competing with these guys, take the product to another market. You could actually keep it as it is, because if you were to take this to the UK or to Australia, that market hasn't seen this product before. So you could literally rip these guys and run it in another market. Now, let's say these guys were running in the top four and there wasn't an opportunity on markets and you just had to think outside the box. What I would do is, instead of repackaging it like you suggested, actually spin the angle on it. So how I would go into this, for example, would be actually making this like an anti-hair loss shampoo. And how can you back that up? Well, you can say that it uses natural ingredients. It doesn't have all of the toxins like supermarket soaps do. You could almost create like an advertorial or a listicle on this about how supermarket soaps have toxins within them and harmful chemicals that actually damage hair follicles. So you should be switching to this natural alternative that will help essentially you with hair loss and add volume to your hair. So instead of it just being like an eco-friendly shampoo bar, which is basically what these guys are doing, they are talking about hair strength and moisture, but you could actually put this towards hair loss. And then straight away you're going to be tapping into a different type of customer avatar that these guys aren't pushing. They're not pushing the hair loss angle. So instead of repackaging, I would say look for a different angle that you can target if you can. Repackaging can work as well if there's like really no opportunities whatsoever, but I wouldn't say it's like one of the best levers that you can pull.
Hey, Cam.
Hey man.
Hey, just wondering, when would you say a product or a market's too competitive? Like, is there a certain number of ads in ad library or number of competitors that you're looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like I wouldn't try and think of an example. Like I think honestly, if you're looking at brands, like not dropshipping stores, I would say that there really isn't anything that is too competitive, unless you're talking about something like Gymshark. Like you can't really compete with the likes of Gymshark because they have a brand, they have identity. But if you're talking about like products that we've been sharing, I would say I would just stay away from products that are very, very visible on spy tools. So like products that are on PP ads, products that are on any of these spy tools that are just known within the dropshipping space. So like sometimes people send products within this Discord and they're still trying to sell that face shaper product. It's been done too many times. But I would say to try and give you an answer, I would say ideally you want to have a few competitors that are scaling well. But I would say if there's like 5+ competitors that are similar to the Earthling Co, so the one that we just looked at, where they're having like 200 to 300k website visitors, then that's going to be a little bit harder, because probably across those 5 competitors, they're probably covering a lot of the potential opportunity to enter the market. So they're probably hitting all countries. They're probably hitting multiple different angles as well. So I would say about 5 to 6 who are at scale.
Terrific, thank you. And if we have time now or later in the call, can we do a site review of product page? I can drop it in the chat.
Yeah, drop in the chat now. I'll pull it up.
It's optimized for mobile, but
Yeah, cool. One sec. Are you running this yet, or just about to test it?
No, about to test it.
I've seen this product being run a lot now on TikTok.
And will this call be recorded?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
Can you guys see this? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it showing mobile view?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. This is good. How we've got the offer stacking here. Yeah, product images are good. Everything looks good so far. What's the cost of goods?
So I'm still in talks with a couple of the suppliers, but it looks like it'll be about 60 to 70 for the whole total, for the whole bundle.
Okay, what does that make it then? So yeah, so decent margins. The only thing that I would say is I would potentially, if your cost of goods is 70,
Mhm.
just for the sake of testing to gauge what the buying demand is. Right now you've got like, let's call it an $80 margin. Is that including shipping, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd probably lower this price to, I would lower this price by like $10. So I would do like 139 because then you've still got a $70 margin there. Just because obviously the lower the price is when you're initially testing, the easier it is to get that initial data coming through. So I always say like test on the lowest price possible that you can run whilst not making your break even ROAS too high. And then over time, you can start to bump up the prices. Once you start actually scaling, once you start to get momentum within your ad account, once you start to build more of a brand around this, then you can increase the price. But on day one of testing, you always want to test at the lowest price possible. Um, the above the fold looks really good. Like all of the images look good. Like you've obviously listened to everything, and you're doing a lot of selling within the images, which is one of the most important things. All of this looks clean as well. I'd say this viral on TikTok low stock, you can remove that. It just
Okay.
I'd say from below the bundles, like here looks, it could be cleaned up a little bit. So I'd remove the viral on TikTok. I'm never a fan of
Mhm.
changing the add to cart, but the add to cart text away from add to cart. I think customers and consumers are just trained like subconsciously to just see the words add to cart. And we've actually done some split testing using IntelliGems on this, and we actually saw a much lower revenue per visitor when we changed our text away from add to cart. So
Interesting.
I'd initially test with just changing this back to add to cart. The payment icons you can remove as well. Let me see. Yeah, this isn't working, but so payment icons you can remove because you've got the payment icons below the checkout. So that'll just
Mhm.
clean this up a little bit slightly because this looks a little bit messy. So the only thing that I would change here is remove the viral on TikTok, change this to add to cart. The gifts is good, keep them in place, and then remove the payment icons. This doesn't look the best on mobile. There's too much dead space here as well. So yeah, I'd remove that section. It doesn't look good.
Oh no, I think that's a little while ago.
Yeah, this is good as well. Even just small things that you've done here, which is color code the key bits of copy is good practice. Yeah, really good. Did you custom code this, or is this built in the theme?
No, it's in.
It's what? Sorry.
It's enshrined, the content tab.
Okay, yeah, it's really good. Okay, I wouldn't say there's a need. So you've got like UGC slider down the bottom, but then you also have pretty much the same thing
Hmm.
up here as well. So I would just have one of these, and I'd have this one here. So don't have two of the same section.
Gotcha.
So just remove this. And then I would hide the dates on the reviews as well, because unless you're getting reviews coming in all the time, like real reviews, then these will very quickly start to look outdated. So just hide the reviews on the review app. Besides that, it looks good. Just a few small adjustments to do.
So I'm not using Kaching or anything. I'm
Change.
just using the.
You want to make sure that on your checkout you change the color away from red as well. Like this will kill.
Yeah.
This will absolutely fuck your conversion rate if you have this complete purchase button in red. So make sure that all of the CTAs, and this is like a good tip for everyone, you always want to make sure that your CTAs, the color of your CTA is cohesive throughout the full funnel, because this will massively throw people off. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Once you make those changes, then yeah, the landing page is good to go. You've done a nice job.
Perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Hey, Cam.
Hey.
I also got a website to review. It'd be great if you could review that.
Oh yeah. Let me do it 1 second.
Yeah.
That's what Dante did. He said that he reached a new level scale by simply changing the color of the product. Now he's doing. Yeah, I know his store. I remember this product. How long you been running it for?
Since February.
Nice, nice. How's it going now?
Currently between 5 to 10 kiddies.
Nice. What's your conversion rate?
Around 1.5%.
1.5. That's low. Have you done any analysis into why you think it's 1.5%?
Like we tried multiple landing pages, advertorials as well, but I think it's like an industry standard to have like this maybe in here.
Mm-hmm. I would one thing that I would do is this is just like a small conversion rate thing, but I would add dots or like arrows here, so you're not just scrolling. That's something that I always do in my
Okay.
store. Have you tested having this? Have you done a split test between having get started and then add to cart?
No, haven't done yet.
Change that to add to cart.
Okay.
I've never seen anyone run it with get started, so I think you'll definitely see an increase in conversion rate.
I took this one from Rise.
Sorry?
Rise Superfood. So
Okay.
I saw them running like guest charted, so I thought it would be
Yeah.
nice.
Looks really good. Yeah, it's good, man. It's really good. I can't see too much wrong with this. The only thing that I would The only thing that I would suggest doing, which could really help boost up your conversion rate, is instead of having, I mean, you could still keep these GIFs in because they are good, but I would add in like a product, like a video, like a video demonstration of the product.
Okay.
So someone who's actually has the, you can get this on Fiverr. So this is something that I've got for a few of my brands, which really does help with conversion rate and trust. So you can hire someone off Fiverr to basically do like a product demonstration video. So they'll have like a professional setting, they'll have like a mic and everything, and then they'll have the product in their hand and they'll actually talk through the product and they'll do like a demonstration of the product. Because for a product like this, the GIFs are good, but this makes like really, really good video content, and to like better understand the product, video can really help with
So
it.
we have like an UGC explaining the product, like that would work as well, right?
Yeah. Just I think the only thing that this landing page is missing is video content. But besides that,
Okay.
it's actually really, really good. The only other thing that I would do is add like payment icons below your checkout button. So you can mention, you mention on the landing page that you've got, okay, so you have try risk free for 60 days and free shipping. I would just add the payment icons underneath the checkout button as well. Because at your stage, if you're doing 5 to 10K per day, it's just these very, very small things that can get you from a 1.5% conversion rate to a 2.5% conversion rate. And then your net margin just from that 1% increase looks a whole lot better. And then I would probably add in a home page as well, just because it builds some more trust with the customer. So if they want to go and look at your homepage, then they can click on this and it will redirect them to a homepage as well, instead of just the landing page.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, you've done a really good job. What theme are you using?
It's built on Replo.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, really good job.
Would you review the ads as well?
With a what, sorry?
The ads of my friend.
Yeah.
On it.
Can you send the link to your ad library?
Yeah, sure.
You have 12,000 reviews at the top, but 600 lower, down a couple of times. Yeah, what Matt said is also a good thing that he's noticed.
Okay.
What made you decide to run this product? Where did you find it?
We saw people running it based on like computer angle,
Okay,
and then we took it to construction angle.
nice. So out of your, do you have a post-purchase survey right now asking people what use case they're buying the product for?
But we don't have that, but I do send emails with surveys, and I got a lot of data from that.
Okay, what's the main use case?
Mainly to clean like wood dust
Okay.
from like, after sawdust and wood dust.
I would also get a post-purchase survey put on your site, because if you're doing 5 to 10K per day and you have some good website traffic, you'll get a lot of data from that. And you want to do it so when you're asking people like why did you purchase this product, you would have multiple choice, but then you want to make sure, this is a good tip, you want to make sure that you have an other where they can click other, and then they can manually type in why they chose the product. Because every single week my creative strategist, he'll do a lot of the research of the post-purchase survey, and just from that other section where they manually type in why they bought it, we get a lot of new potential angles from that customer data. So I would definitely do that. Right, let me play one of your ads.
Oh, there's another one. So
Sorry?
not this one.
Which one?
You can go down.
This one?
The one below this one could be better.
Why is this little tool deadly for dust accumulation? Hear me out. Watch this clean power tool reveal its dirty secret in 3 seconds. You think your tools are clean. Here's what's secretly killing your expensive equipment. Recent research uncovered something shocking. Your tools aren't dying from wear and tear. They're suffocating from the inside. See those clouds? That's what's hiding in your perfectly maintained gear right now. But here's where everything changes. Meet the Air Blaster 2.0. This isn't just another overpriced dust blower. This professional grade powerhouse that was engineered for one mission, saving your tools from their invisible enemy. Forget those bulky blowers that just push dust around. Watch this precision engineered nozzle system reach spots other cleaners can't touch. But the real game changer, 120 minutes of continuous cleaning power from a single USB-C charge. From dust choked to factory fresh, the Air Blaster 2.0 is now 70% off for the holidays, but only for the first 1,000 orders. Your tools are begging you. Don't wait. Why is this little tool deadly?
Nice. I'm interested to see. Yeah, what would you guys rate that ad out of 10? Put in the chat, because honestly, bro, like that ad is fucking killer. That's a really good ad.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, that's really good. The only thing that I would say is 2 seconds. I like that. Yeah, I think the only thing that's missing here is
Months of accumulated for dust accumulation.
I would work on getting people actually speaking about the product. So if you have ads that actually have real people speaking in them, not just AI voiceovers, but actual lip sync, then that comes across as a lot more genuine, and it's a good trust builder as well. So like a 1.5% conversion rate, a lot of the conversion rate stuff is also done off the website. So if I was you, I would be going hard over the next couple of weeks on getting some actual UGC content of people actually talking about the product. You could send it out to like a mechanic, for example, who works in a workshop. You could have him creating a UGC video talking about how now he incorporates this tool into his daily work, etc. So I think that's the only thing that's missing. And I think
I'm
if
kind of
you're
confused how to give him a script on that.
Pardon?
I'm kind of confused how I can give him a good script to speak out.
Yeah, so you want to try and find the best way to do that is to go and find competitors. They don't have to be direct competitors, but go and look for brands that are selling within the DIY niche, within the mechanical niche, like within the construction niche, because there is a lot of brands within these spaces, and find some of their ads and then just almost like save them into a Google Drive. And how I basically do my UGC briefs is I include example UGC from other competitors, so then they have some sort of reference point. But honestly, like we don't even give the UGC creators briefs. The only thing that we give the we do give the UGC creators briefs. We don't give them scripts. The only thing that we give them in regards to the script is different hooks to film. So we'll usually give them 4 to 5 different hooks that they film. And then we also get them to film testimonials as well. So basically, this is going to be a long-winded answer, but basically when we get UGC from someone, we get them to do a number of different things. We get them to film raw testimonials, so that will be 15 to 20-second clips of them speaking about the product in a testimonial style. And then we use these creatives within our ads like you're running right now. So this first ad that we looked at, what would make this an even better ad is before you get to the CTA towards the end of the video, you then cut from the AI voiceover into a raw testimonial of someone speaking about the product. And that just builds so much more credibility and so much more social proof into your ad that when customers actually go to your website, they're more convinced on buying the product because there's more trust built, which will give you a better conversion rate. So the testimonial videos from UGC creators, we get them to film that so we can incorporate them into all of our ads. We then get them to film hooks as well. So just like plain hooks, just raw clips where they'll film hooks, and we can also put these within our ads as well. And then we get them to film one main video. So that main video will be a 45 to 90-second video, and we actually let them do the ideation and the creation of these videos. So we'll give them some reference points. So for example, as I mentioned, one reference point would be we'll give them a link to a Google Drive, and within that Google Drive, we would have grabbed other UGC content from other competitors or other brands that we think is good content, and we get them to reference this content for an example. And then other reference points that we give them are the USPs, the customer demographic, any key things that you want them to mention in your script. So, for example, it could be something about like the battery life or anything key that you want for them to include into your script. You can mention, and then we give them full freedom on creating this script. So you don't have to write the scripts for them. Just try and give them as much direction as you can.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Also, one more thing, like
Mhm.
what more offers would you test with this product?
Say that again.
What offers would you test with this product?
Let me have a look. What's your cost of goods?
It's 36.
What type of margins do you usually see?
Around 20%.
Okay. And do you know?
But we're also making a new version of this one,
Mhm.
which has like removable batteries. So I think we're gonna see better margin on that.
Okay. Do you have many people who take up any of these ones, like the 2, the 3, and the 4?
Yeah, a lot of people take 2 units or 4 units.
They take 3 or 4, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. What I would be doing to make this offer even better is you want people that are taking the 3 or the 4, but I would give them more of an incentive rather than just price to go for the 3 or 4. And this could also make you push up your price as well. But what I would do is I would have your 1 unit as it is, your 2 unit as it is right now, the 3 unit, I would have. Do you have free shipping?
Yeah,
Over 130, right?
on all of them.
But it says over
But
130.
like we just mentioned it's 130, but
Oh,
like we
okay.
offer free shipping.
Yeah, so I wouldn't offer free shipping. I would test not offering free shipping on the 1 unit or the 2 unit, and then I would incentivize the 3 and the 4 unit. So, or you could even do this. I would do free shipping on the 2 units. On the 3rd unit, I would do free shipping plus a free gift. So like a complimentary product if you have that. And then the 4th one, I would do free shipping plus 2 free gifts, because you want to really push people into the higher ticket offer. and free gifts is what I run on one of the brands, and it crushes really well. So I'd test more incentives for these higher offers. And even if you ran
Okay.
a free gift here and free gifts on this one here as well, you can put that into the product price, so you're covering the costs. But free gifts and bundles
Yeah.
work really well.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely change this to add to cart as well. The other thing that I would say, maybe it's just not loading for me, but it just says save. It doesn't tell you how much you're saving.
I think it's the bug. Like it works for me.
Okay, that's the main thing. Okay, that's fine. Is it fine to use saturated AI voices like Valley Girl, or would you recommend custom AI voices over as what you're personally doing? Good question. So we are using let me see. It's in Slack. Give me 1 second. So I've never actually been onto the platform. Yeah, so this is what we use. It's called Artlist. So I'll put it into the chat. And you can do AI voiceovers on Artlist. We'll keep that one between the Diamond chat, because I don't want everyone running off this. Do you know websites that does that, offering free gifts in the 3rd and 4th unit? Mine, some of mine do, but obviously I can't expose them. I'm trying to think if anyone else does it. Maybe Obve do it. I'm not sure though. It is common, I just can't think off the top of my head. If anyone else wants anything reviewed, then just put the link in the chat.
Yo, Cam,
Hey, bro.
nice to meet you. I have a voice message. It must be weird speaking to text messages all the time.
Yeah, it's good to put a voice to a name sometimes.
Yeah. I just got a few questions.
Go for it.
The first one is based off what we spoke about first in this call. Like, it seems you can justify, and I hear so many examples now of people making like anything work, like any product work. So, like, how would you niche down on your product research? Like, would it be the case that you choose a certain niches and you won't test outside of that? Because I feel like you could just get overwhelmed and you can have an argument for every product that you see,
Yeah.
you know, despite the ones that you talk about, which are really saturated.
Yeah. I mean, what I do is I have my 3 stores right now, and each of them are in a separate niche. But I'm now like even in next year, I'm probably not going to launch. I might launch another brand, I'm not sure. But what I'm mainly doing when I'm doing product research right now is doing product research within these niches, because then it's almost like I become a master of these niches. And it means that, let's just say, for example, it was in the gardening niche, and let's say I had a brand that was doing 500k plus per month in the gardening niche. I built a brand out of it. Like, I knew the customers. I had all of this customer data as well, what products they want, what products they're buying, what other competitors are in the space as well, what's working right now. And then we've got people, let's say, in this Discord who are doing product research in the gardening niche and looking to get into that niche. Like, I have such a competitive advantage over the rest of the people because I know it like the back of my hand. So if I'm doing product research within that niche, straight away, like, I'm seeing, like, okay, I saw that product last week, or I saw that product 6 months ago, like, it's already been rinsed, or okay, I've never seen this product before. That looks like a winning formula within this niche. I know the customers, I know what they want, I know what they buy. Like, that would have demand within the market. So I'd say once you get to like a certain level, then I would definitely recommend to have like 90% of your focus within whatever niche you find your success in. So for example, Baba, for example, if he's doing 10k a day with that product within the DIY niche, like, he should just double the fuck down and master that niche as best as he can and launch more products on the same store within that niche. But I would say if you don't have a winning product yet, or you've not carved out what your niche is or had success in a niche, then you just want to, I wouldn't recommend like mastering a niche to begin with, because then you might essentially miss out on potential opportunity. So I would just basically go broad, just keep on doing what you're doing and look for different products within loads of different niches. But honestly, I've mentioned this a couple of times, if I was going back now, let's say I was starting in January and I maybe had like a couple of grand saved aside to get started, I honestly wouldn't go for health, I wouldn't go for beauty, I would honestly go for something like Baba has, like that construction niche, DIY niche. People don't typically think to get into niches like that. The other one that I shared towards the start of the month was like a snowboarding product. Like, again, like, people, these niches are like secondary to people when they're doing product research, and there's way less competition. So if you're starting off with a lower budget, that lower budget is going to go way further within one of these less competitive niches than it is if you're trying to go into cosmetics and compete with like the guys who have the biggest budgets, who are already spending 20, 30, 40k a day on ads. And if you're going to come in with like I'm not talking about you specifically, but just generalizing it, like your baby budget, it's hard to compete unless you have a product that is like, the only way that I would really encourage you guys to go into like some of the most competitive niches is if you're almost like pioneering something. So pioneering could genuinely be just bringing up a proven product from the USA into another market, because you're essentially pioneering that product within a new market. You're showing them, if you take the hard shampoo bars, you're showing the UK a product that maybe they've not necessarily seen a lot of before. Or pioneering could be genuinely just going onto AliExpress and doing the strategy of taking a proven solution within the market. So it could be like painless hair removal, for example, and looking for a product of AliExpress that is pretty much brand new to the market, no one scaled it, and then have that as a proven solution and then pioneer it by launching it and being one of the first to do so. Because if you think about all of these products that we look at, someone has been the first to bring them to market, and typically they're the ones that will see the highest level of scale, and you're able to get something off the ground with a really low budget. Like, the best example for me would be when I launched the color changing foundation. It was only really one other guy who was running that product before me, and he was maybe only doing about 2k per day, and it was in the US top 4. So 2k per day in the top 4, you're really not making a dent in the market whatsoever. And that was almost like a product that I pioneered. I was the first to scale it really aggressively, and it was like within an hour or 2 hours of the ads being launched, the Shopify notifications were like fucking instant, because the market had never seen that product before and it was brand new. So yeah, did that answer your question?
Yeah. No, that's good, thanks. But based on the market thing, do you find that, me being British, I know that we hate being sold to. Do you find that like different messages resonate? Like US people resonate with certain content ads, UK is different. Because I always get really high engagement from the ad perspective in the UK, but they never convert. And then the US are a bit more,
Yeah, I would
I
say,
guess, yeah.
yeah, I would say the UK is actually the simpler the funnel within the UK, the better it converts. So if you look at some of these, like if you take like Neural for example, where they're running like on
Mm.
Funnelish, they have all of these long sales letters, like they have all of these order bumps, like that is like very Americanized. Like that doesn't really work well in the UK because think of think of sending like the Nuru funnel to like one of your family members. Like personally, me, they'd be like,
Yeah,
it looks like a fucking scam. But
that's
the
what I said as well.
yeah, but the American market, like that's like proven to work there. Like it's just more normal to them. Like they're used to seeing that. Their eyes are used to seeing it. You've got all of these ClickBank offers that have been heavily scaled within the US. Like they're just more aware of those sorts of funnels. Whereas if you launch like that sort of funnel within the UK, like people just think it looks actually really fucking scammy. So I would say not really the USPs and the messaging, etc., but I would say just making it look as much of a trustworthy brand as you can and actually stray away as much as you can from these direct response, ClickBanky type funnels is how you'll see the most success in these other markets outside of the US. That's like the biggest difference I would say.
Okay, cool. And then last question I have, using Mete as an example,
Mm-hmm.
is you said that he was running at break even for 2 months.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, obviously Facebook can be super inconsistent up and down, but it's like enough where you just keep the product running, kind of like the knife sharpener that I'm running now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I'm running super low budget. I'm sure Mete was running higher than I am. But like, what was the breakthrough for him? Is it just the market started liking what he was pushing out, or
Yeah. I would say the biggest things that come to mind was offer testing, like in regards to pricing. So actually, one of the things that made one of the biggest shifts was actually lowering the product price. So I believe we lowered the product price by about $4 to $5, and that was like a big needle mover. Like people really
just
overlook.
that much?
Yeah, like people overlook like how small of a price change can make a difference. Like if you've got something priced at for one unit, let's say 34.99, and then you lower that so that on the customer's first glance at the price it says it starts with a 2 and says 29.99. Just like a change as small as that can have such an impact on the add to cart rate and the overall volume of sales coming through that it just make you're way more profitable at the lower price point just based on the volume and the conversion rate. So that was one of the biggest things. And then the other thing that really made the difference was getting his own custom content. So his own B-roll. So he basically, we were still running AI ads, like as I said at the start of this call, like still like 90% of his ads are AI voiceover ads, but actually getting his own B-roll of the product to use within his ads. And I think that honestly is a thing. Like people say it's a myth, but I think if you run your own content, I honestly do think there's no way to prove this, but I do think that Meta reward you with lower CPCs and a lower CPM. And I think if they know that you're ripping content, if they don't ban you, like I do think they like to punish you with like a higher CPC as well. So obviously you can still test using custom ripped content off the get-go, but I think if you're running break even or you see potential in a product, then actually going into custom B-roll is good. And it doesn't always have to be using UGC creators. Like a lot of the B-roll that even now he uses in his ads, like he's taken it himself off his own iPhone. Like he'll have the product and he'll like get these like B-rolls off his iPhone and include them within his own content. So if you're running the knife block, like you could actually probably get a lot of your own B-roll yourself. Like order the products off Amazon or off your supplier and just take a ton of your own B-roll. and that's like the first step in the right direction to getting your own custom content. So that's the second thing. So we've got Price, we've got his own custom content, and then I would say like the final catalyst that took him from probably like 10k a day to like 20k a day and above was when we started testing listicles. So nothing too complex, but just like some of the listicles I've shared in the Discord before, where it's like 5 reasons why, 6 reasons why, and just pre-educating the customer before actually sending them to the PDP. They're like really the 3 main things.
How much have you seen listicles actually increase the conversion rate on average?
It's hard because listicles don't always outperform the PDP. Like, they really don't. Listicles, people just assume that if you run an advertorial and a listicle that you're going to see better results, but quite often within campaigns and within my ad accounts, like I'll see the PDP, direct to the PDP, outperform the listicle. And I think it's the same as when I'm talking about how to get to a high level of scale, you need to be running all types of different creative concepts, statics, UGC, blah, blah, blah. It's the same as listicles and PDP and advertorials. It's not like one is better than the other, but you want to be making sure that if you're trying to scale, you're running all of them, because you'll have some of your customers that will react better to a listicle. You'll have some customers that actually click on the ad and go to a listicle and like, what the fuck is this? Where's the price? And they would actually react better to going straight to a PDP. And the thing is that Meta has billions of different data points on how people interact with ads. So it already knows which customers react best to listicles, which customers react best to PDPs. So run both.
Okay, I see what you mean. I have one very quick last question. If we are testing products with a higher AOV, let's say 90 and above, do you still, because I know the 3x COGS rule is kind of like the dropshipper's holy grail, but like as soon as the COGS start getting above like $30, $50, $40, like do you kind of look more at what it costs to acquire a customer versus timesing that cost by 3?
Just say that last bit again, mate. I didn't quite catch it.
Do you look at more at how much it costs to acquire a customer? So like let's say your COGS were 50.
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily price the product at 150. You might do it at like 125 because you've still got $75 to acquire a customer.
Yeah. Yeah, like the rule of thumb is, it's like widely spread, but it is like 3x your COGS is usually like a good minimum. But usually people are speaking about products that are, let's say, less than $60. But if you're going more into like the higher AOV stuff, like let's say, for example, you were selling a product that was
like that one you dropped the other day, the skincare, the Korean skincare one.
Okay, yeah.
You know, remember they were selling it for like $200?
Yeah. So what I said, like, I also had like I did this trading video maybe like last year somewhere, and I said like my rule of thumb is like breaking down the winning criteria of a product, and my rule of thumb is 3x COGS or at least $30 margin as well. So as long as I've got like minimum a $30 margin, then that's like okay. But if you're selling high ticket, this is kind of what I was saying to VJ. Like, he's probably not going to be doing 3 or 4x COGS, but as long as, if I was him, I would test, as I said, you want to test at like the lowest price possible. So when I say $30 COGS, that's not something that I want to scale with long term, because I want to get more margin out of that. But to test with initially, just to gauge the buying demand, I'll either do 3x or $30 COGS. And then as long as you're seeing demand and you're making sales, then I'll start to gradually get that up, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks, Cam.
All good, bro. Any other questions?
Hey, Cam.
Yo, Zach.
So we're obviously coming out of Q4 now, right? So how hard have you seen demand drop going into Meta Q5 in January?
Yeah, I like that Q5. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your product. So if your product is like heavily relying on gifting, like if it's just a good
Mine's
stock,
not.
yeah. So as long as it's not heavily relying on gifting, because like I know someone personally who's, I won't say who it is or what the product is, but they have in the last couple of days seen like a huge drop off because their product was heavily relying on gifting. In the post-purchase survey, about 50% of people were actually buying for gifts, and now like their revenue has dropped significantly. But if your product is more of an evergreen product, something that will consistently sell throughout the whole year, like I would say whatever revenue you're doing right now is the same sort of revenue that you should start to expect within January, February, March. Like the biggest drop off in performance is probably from 2 to 3 days after Cyber Monday, where you're still in that Cyber Week, to then coming into this period now where people have got to the end of like their, like right now this week is kind of quiet because people, even if your product isn't a gifting product, people have spent like a lot of their cash gift buying. They spent a lot of money within Cyber Week as well. So whatever revenue you're doing at the minute, you're not going to see too different when you go into Q1 of next year.
All right, thanks, bro.
Oh, good, bro. How's the store doing?
Doing about 7K a day now.
Jeez, nice.
I'm seeing a lot more demand since Black Friday. Like coming up to Christmas, I'm doing higher ROAS, better margin, more sales. I would have thought it would have dipped a bit.
Amazing. Do you still see a lot of upside?
Pardon?
Do you still see there being a lot of upside? Is there still a lot of things that you haven't yet tested that you want to put in place? What's kind of the plan over the next couple of months to scale up further?
I think it's just more custom content and building that moat, right? Because I was talking to Nikita, OG Nile, Ognile.
Yep.
And he was like, dude, you need to focus on building that moat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of the packaging everywhere. You know, it's building in listicles, better, higher converting ads. So I guess just improvements overall.
Yeah. How many new concepts are you launching per week?
I probably get 2 or 3 back from my editor a day.
Okay.
So I'm pretty consistently finding new content, which is good.
When you say 2 to 3 back, is that 2 to 3 new concepts that like
yeah. So each of those concepts will have 5 or so hooks.
Nice. So so that's good creative volume. Yeah, I would say, what does the team look like right now? It's you and just an editor. Like, what does it look like?
Customer support.
You editor and
Me editor, customer support. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, who's writing the scripts?
I'm just using Claude.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would say probably in January if I was you, if the revenue, because this goes back to Ruben's question about what was like some of the breakthroughs for Meta. I would add another one in there as well, and that was also starting to build a team as well. So you hear it all the time within the business space, but you want to remove yourself out of the business so you can work on it rather than in it. And that's like very, very true. So you've taken the first few steps by getting in a customer service VA, you have an editor as well. The next hire that I would make if I was you would be to get a creative strategist in place. So someone with more experience than you that can manage the whole creative strategy and really do some like deep research, as I was speaking about at the start of this call, and managing that process, because that's going to free up more time for you to then focus on launching more SKUs, getting the custom packaging, really building that moat, building out your organic content as well. That's something that a lot of people overlook. But one of the best things that you can do if you're building a brand and looking to build that moat that really separates you from just dropshippers who are running the product is building up an organic presence as well. So it allows you to do all of these other things. So I'd hire a creative strategist, and then I would, because I'm pretty sure you've sent me your stuff before, I would I would go hard if you're not already. I would go hard on email as well, and potentially get someone in to run your email on a rev share basis. So you can get people to come in and run your email, and they'll take like a percentage of what they generate you. So that's what I started off doing. But having someone who can really get email optimized as well, then that will really help you get to the next level and overall boost your margins. But
Awesome.
yeah, you should
I'll
be
get onto
proud.
that in January. Thank
should
you
be
so
proud,
much.
bro. 7K per day is really good considering this is your like first real store, I guess.
Yeah, it's allowed me to go into ecom full time. So
Let's go. Yeah, next year should be big for you, bro. Especially if you have all of that free time to put everything into it.
definitely. Thank you so much.
Congrats. Curious for your thoughts on this, Cam. What are the reasons we would need to test various products, assuming you test a product that ticks all the boxes, has competitors that that have proven concept, and you did a good job on the PTP/creators? Why could the test fail? Just trying to gauge how much effort to put into this store and creative build before testing. Like honestly, I would. You don't want to spend too much time into your. It's a hard one to answer because you don't want to rush things, but you don't want to put weeks. I wouldn't say put weeks into building a store. Like at max, to get everything ready for a product test, it should take you on average about 5 days. And people will churn out stores much quicker than that. Some people do it in a day or two. But roughly about 5 days to get everything fully ready to give yourself the best chance of running a test. In regards to like why some product tests don't work and why they fail, like it can come down to a lot of reasons. Like just because a product is working for someone else, it obviously doesn't mean that it's going to work for you testing it as well. And a lot of the time it just comes down to there's too many competitors that have too much of the market share. And unless you're willing to come in, I think you can pretty much make any product work. But a lot of the time, if you're not seeing good metrics within the first 5 to 6 days, can you just mute your mic, bro? Someone's got their mic not on mute. But a lot of the time, it just comes down to there's too much competitors with market share, and for you to compete with them, it's going to take a lot more budget and a lot more time to actually enter that market. One question I forgot: if ads have a good hook and hold rate, but the CPC is shit, what the hell does that tell you? Like, I would always favour the CPC over what the hook and hold rate are. So, to be honest with you, bro, like, I don't know why that would be the case. To be honest, I don't really see that. If we have a high hook rate and hold rate, then usually the CPC is strong. Yeah, it's a good point by Ricky. Break down your campaign and see if the US is pushing that CPC up. Where do you hire a creative strategist from? There's a ton of good ones on Upwork. I would go on Upwork and then just make sure that you are filtering it by top rated or top rated plus. It's a blue icon or like a pinky icon. Yeah, CPC is really high there. But also, depending on your product price, if your product price is of a higher AOV, then typically you'll see a higher CPC from Meta. You know, if you're selling something for, let's say, 125, you're typically going to see a higher cost per click. My campaign that has been averaging 0.7 CPC is that, yeah, Ruben, that will just be fluctuation on Meta's behalf. Yeah, it changes every single day. It's also dependent on the market within your niche as well. Like you might have one of the big competitors within the kitchenware space that has absolutely scaled up their budgets last night for whatever reason. Maybe they're about to run like a Christmas sale, Boxing Day sale, and they could be spending way more. And now the auction, because you've got to remember Meta is an auction, right? We're all bidding for the click. So the auction could become more expensive, which would put up your CPC. That's why within Cyber Week, for example, CPC is always the highest throughout the whole year, because the auction is way more expensive to get that click. And unless you're using like cost controls or bid claps, you're basically telling Meta, just bid whatever the market needs, whatever the auction needs to get a click, which will push up your CPC. What was the competitor of the puzzle vase selling, Samu? What price, sorry, was he selling at again? It also depends on, you said, should I expect a CPC of $1.80 to $2? It also depends on the market that you're selling in. If you can get a CPC for like 180 in the top four, then that's good.
Hey, Cam, can I actually do a review as well?
Yeah, go for it.
Unless anyone else has got some questions, I don't want to take up all the time. So this was, let me know on my thought process on this as well. So you know the whiskey glass that you dropped?
Yeah.
I don't know how I came across this product, but I checked on Amazon and it was doing insane volume. There was one listing that was selling this, and they sold 30,000 last month, which was like 1.5 mil, and that was just one listing. And I haven't really seen this. Product images are a bit shit, I'll give you that.
Is this your product?
I haven't really seen this, like, yeah.
Okay.
So I haven't seen this on Facebook that much. There's a brand that seems to be huge on TikTok, but they haven't ran ads since like October, and their ads are just still active from then. But I just looked at the volume on Amazon. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I just thought this is worth the test.
100%.
So this is the first day running it. I've had one ad to cart,
Okay.
and I've only had like 11 landing page views. That's the campaign that I'm talking about, where the CPC is awful.
Okay. How much have you spent?
Let me check. It's literally spent $30. Had 12 clicks. 45 CPM.
Maybe because I'm not in this niche. I'm like, when I say not in this niche, I'm not within the demographic who would buy this product. But it looks like from this product photo, because bearing in mind, like the first image that you have in your product photo is like the most important, because it's the first thing that the customer sees. This is the first one, yeah. I would say you should change your first product image to this, because if I look at this, you can barely see what the product is. Like I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what the fuck is that? So I would change your first product image to the best one that you've got, and that looks, you can clearly see what the product is. Let me have a look at the rest of it. What your ads like, you can ping if you want. You can send.
I can, yeah, may as well.
And yeah, let me have a look. What's like the whole USP for this then?
Basically just to make your whiskey smoked to make it taste better.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a whiskey. I hate whiskey so much. So I don't know. I just got a bit excited, you know, seeing the volume on Amazon.
I don't really think there's a need. I noticed this in one of your other stores. Like, did you see someone else put copy above the image up here?
Yeah, I my product page is pretty much copied. Do you know Norelli?
Nah, I don't think so.
So I just happened to speak to a few guys that worked actually at Norelli and
What do
got a few insights from them.
what do they sell?
It's like insoles,
Okay, okay.
knee, but I know they do very well.
Are they mainly on the US market?
No, they're actually all over Netherlands, Germany, UK.
Yeah. When you were asking me, by the way, about the differences between like buying behavior UK and US, it's even small things like this, like hurry up, only 7 left. Like that's more of like a US thing. Like this, like the UK,
Mm,
because we've ran split tests on these things with one of our UK brands. Like UK people don't react well to this sort of stuff.
okay.
I would I would clean this up a little bit. I would remove the copy above the image and just see how it does. I'd remove this. I would also remove the hurry up, only 7 left, because it just looks a little bit scammy. And then the pricing is in a weird location as well. Like the pricing
Hmm.
is just like in a weird spot. So
I don't even have that for the knife sharpener actually.
yeah, I would hide this because I would actually just completely take this off because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't even change. You know, when you go to the second bundle or the third bundle, usually you should have this price change,
Yeah.
and it's not even doing so. So I would just remove this and then just have the pricing within your bundles. Also, the 30-day risk-free trial, I would remove as well. So I would have the same. I would have like the same layout as most people do, which is review stars, product, title. You could have the price there, and then your USPs. So the 30-day free trial you don't really need there; it just takes up space because you've got the 30-day free trial within your drop down as well. And like you just want to put this is what I mean. You just want to position yourself as like a trustworthy brand, as opposed to like having some of these having too much scarcity within your page, within your PDP can actually decrease the CRV. So also the whole like offer ends midnight and like the flashing text, just change that to like a money back guarantee or have some icons there that are going to build further trust. You really need to double down
Hmm.
on trust building with people.
Okay.
Like even small things like having emojis that point to the add to cart, like take the emojis out because it doesn't look. If you think of like the type of person who's going to be buying this product, it's probably going to be an older demographic. Like it needs to look sleek. Like the landing page needs to look sleek and polished. So
Hmm.
it can't look tacky. Like the emojis within the CTA just looks tacky.
I'd send you the Norelli just so cross reference. We don't have to look. I did send the ad library as well.
And then I would add more reviews in as well. So I would have
Yeah.
the grid reviews where you have a ton of reviews. And I know a lot of people run a sticky add to cart. This might not be a huge thing to test, but I personally have done testing with it and I don't run any sticky add to cart. And we like usually average above a 9% add to cart rate. So Yeah, I just clean it. I
Yeah.
overall clean it up a little bit and just make it look more sleek, more polished, as if you're a real brand and not as tacky.
Okay. Because I mean, the data that I've got from the knife sharpener with this landing page is just so confusing because like I will get like a 1% CVR one day, but I'm not kidding. I will get then like a 10% the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I supposed to get any sort of, thought out of this when it's so drastic?
Is that on like how many website visitors are you averaging per day on that? Because here's the thing, right? Let's say
I mean,
it's like 100 or like let's just use 100 as an example or 200. Like
it's
when you're
about that, yeah.
Yeah, like when you're having such little website visitors per day, the difference of 2 orders can make such a big difference in your conversion rate. It can take your conversion rate from like a 1% to a 4% just with the difference of a few orders. So like that's why when you're at a lower budget and you have lower website traffic, inevitably you're going to have like way more volatility within the conversion rate because it's so easy for that to be manipulated because only like a few changes, a few orders can change that. Whereas like if you take Zach for example, who's doing like 7K a day, because he's getting probably a couple of thousand website visitors per day, it's much harder for that conversion rate to fluctuate as much because you just have more traffic going to your site and it's not going to change as easily, if that makes sense. So if I was you, I would be looking at things over like a 2 to 3 day window. So instead of looking at your conversion rate on a day-to-day basis, looking at the past 3 days, what's your conversion rate? And that's going to give you a better idea of what it would look like at a higher budget because you're basing it off, instead of 100 or 200 website visitors, you're basing the conversion rate off, let's say, like 1,000 website visitors, which gives you a more realistic point of view.
Mm. Do you like the actual product and the thought process behind that?
Yeah. I really do. I really do. It's kind of like the pioneer method in a way. You've taken a product that is working well, like that rotating whiskey glass. It'd be interesting to see how many ads they were running now, but obviously they were doing really well, and it's so you know that the market likes products like this, but it's giving them something new on Meta, which has already been proven on Amazon. So the thought process is correct.
I sent the ad library as well, just to.
Want rich, smoky whiskey at home? Follow these 3 steps and taste the difference in seconds. Step 1. Place the smoker lid on your glass.
This is really good.
Step 2. Add your favorite wood chips, oak, apple, cherry, or pecan, and light them up. Step 3. Let the rich aromatic smoke infuse your drink for seconds, then sip and enjoy flavors you've never tasted before. Click now and transform your whiskey in 30 seconds. Want rich, smoky whiskey in seconds. Want rich, smoky.
I would I never like stuff like this, like click below 50%.
See, I got that from you know advertising on X.
Yeah, I've met him.
Yeah, I got that from him.
Oh really?
Because I didn't put it either, and he was like, "Oh, you'll see that's the knife sharpener those."
Yeah, like we obviously do a CTA with direction in it, but I just don't like the whole like CTA.
Just a bit more subtle.
Yeah, but you can test it. It depends on if it's working, right? Then it's working. But that ad is really good.
Yeah, see, these are the ones that got over 2 CPC.
Yeah.
So I obviously I need to check tomorrow to see like if it improves.
I would just make some. I would make some small changes to the landing page, and like remove this hurry up only 7, hide this pricing, remove this text up on the top of the screen, make this your first image so that when they're first landing on the page, they can clearly see what the product is and how you use it. Change the offer ends midnight to like more social proof. You need to build trust here. No one knows who the fuck you are. Like people always have their guard up. They think everything is a scam. So you need to build trust. Remove the 30-day free trial because you've got it down here. And then I removed the emojis out of the CTAs because it just looks a bit unprofessional. And then add in more reviews within the grid, like the grid reviews. And then another thing that you potentially could do is, okay, you've got a GIF there, that's all good. Yeah, just a few
Yeah.
changes.
This is going to sound ridiculous given how many products I've tested, but where's the best place to get reviews from? Because I just haven't bothered to do that method yet.
Yeah, just manually. The best way to do it is manually add them in. It's a bit of grunt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then like people overlook reviews. Like people will they'll use Looks Reviews, and Looks Reviews has like a review importer from AliExpress, and they'll just import reviews from AliExpress, not really giving a fuck about what the reviews say. But actually,
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, anyone who has done some CRO, which I've done, and we have heat maps on our stores, and we look at how customers interact. This is what customers do. So they land on the page and they go like this, and then they go like this, and then they look at reviews and start reading reviews. So the reviews honestly do about 50% of the selling. And I know that because within our post-purchase survey, we get data from customers all the time, and they said that they've looked at all of the reviews and the reviews look amazing, so they wanted to get the product for themselves. So if you manually write your reviews in a strategic way, and strategic being you mention all of the customers' end desires, do some research on the demographic, what do whiskey lovers, what do they like resonate with, what terminology do they use, all of these different things, like is it like the smokiness of the whiskey that they like, then you write in your reviews how this like added like smokiness to the flavour of their whiskey. Your reviews need to speak into the customer's end desire, and then that will do a lot of the selling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you get AI to write it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Literally one of the best ways to do it is ChatGPT, go on Amazon, get a couple of copy and paste, like 5.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, I've actually done that for like writing the copy of the landing page, so I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together and actually write the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So a bit stupid of me, but appreciate that. That's very helpful.
Oh, good, G. Which app allows for the price change when you select different bundles? The theme should automatically do it. If you're using Wide Bundle, then it just integrates into your theme and it will automatically change. All right, guys, cool. Gonna wrap this up now because we've been going for. In fact, no, we're not, because we've got some products to run over. In terms of creative engagement through editing, do you think it's a must to have fast transitions, random noises, fast-paced B-roll, etc. for your creatives, or just test both dopamine style creatives and normal transition cuts? Yeah, I don't do too much dopamine style. The only thing that I will say is that I run like dopamine style within some of our hooks because it does help get a higher hook rate in. But I wouldn't say it's too important to do all of these like fast hooks, etc. Like Ruben's creative there for the whiskey, if you think about his customer demographic, 40-year-old guy and above, let's say, is he going to resonate with these like fast dopamine hooks, or is he going to react to the type of creative that Ruben has just made? Definitely the latter. Right, one sec. So, as I was saying, maybe half an hour ago, you want to be. This actually is similar to. Is he still on the call? No, he's not. It's kind of similar to Baba's niche, where it's more like in the construction, DIY, handyman type niche, which, as I said, definitely, if you're coming in with a smaller budget, go for these smaller, more untapped niches, like Ribbon, for example. That the whiskey niche is a good one, right? People don't typically think, okay, let's go and run products within the whiskey niche. So let me pull up my Google. You guys see my screen right now? Just someone shout out yes.
Yep.
Yeah, all good, cool. So you can see that these guys here are running 140 active ads at the minute, and the product is like not the type of product that you would typically think of running, and it's mainly for woodworkers. So really niche product. I'll play a creative right now for you. Hang on.
Square it right or prepare to redo it. Lesson learned. That's when I turned to these clamping squares from Tooltech. They've changed the way I work, especially with large panels. Durable, easy to use. They ensure my angles are perfect 90s and the ability to clamp both inside and outside, something my old jig couldn't do. Before I even think about starting a cabinet or drawer project, I make sure Tooltech's precision clamping squares are at hand. Definitely recommend them.
So like, I really like this because woodworking, really untapped, but it's more so the demographic that I like, because I always prefer selling to an older demographic if I can. Older demographic, I mean 35 plus and above. They've just got more purchasing power. And then also, if you're in the woodworking space as well, like this, you've got more purchasing power based on the customer demographic. But then you also have like what is like a really, you're killing two birds with one stone here. You have a product that is actually adding value to their life because it's making them do their woodworking easier, like it's solving a problem. But then you also are actually marketing it to like a really passionate niche. If you were to go on TikTok and type in like woodworking, there'll be hundreds of people within that niche. It's almost like its own little world where they're creating woodworking content. There'll be YouTube channels of people who are creating woodworking content. There'll be Facebook pages, Reddit threads, Reddit groups of these woodworkers. So you're actually marketing the product to like a really niche, passionate community. So it really does tick a lot of boxes. You can see that they're definitely drop shipping. Let me see what their shipping times are. Yeah, shipping method, e-packet. So yeah, they're definitely just shipping this directly from China, and pretty generic landing page as well. Can I change this out of euros? They have some good margins as well. So you can see for a one set, they're selling this for $60, and then AliExpress, cost of goods is probably around about $14 off Ali. Obviously cheaper using a supplier, using an agent, and there's some actual decent volume on AliExpress as well. But yeah, this is like the type of product that I would look at running if I had a lower budget. I would honestly advise you guys to run products like this over going into beauty, over going into health, any of these, like fashion as well, any of these like ultra competitive niches. Check their somewhere web. And yeah, so you can see like they're pretty much only running within the US, and the UK and Australia are pretty much untouched. And if this was like a color changing foundation, for example, you're going to have hundreds of competitors for a product like that, and it probably would have been seen within all of these different markets. But if you're in a really specific niche like woodworking with a product as specific as this, the chances of finding other competitors that are scaling within these other markets is pretty slim. So I'd definitely test it. while I was tripping. Anyone got any questions on this product specifically?
I'm so tired of my buddy Jeff always knocking on my door. Hey Tom, can I borrow your clamps again? My cheap plastic ones keep slipping. Sure, Jeff, but maybe it's time to upgrade. Why struggle with cheap plastic clamps when precision clamping squares from Tooltech make the job so much easier? I finish my projects faster while others wait.
They've got some really good creatives. So like this is actually really good because you know exactly what creatives are working for them. So all you have to do here is I would launch a campaign to test this. I would launch a campaign not in the US. I would just launch a campaign UK and Australia. Basically just recreate the creatives that they're working, that they're running right now. Just transcribe their script, change out just a few sentences, like reword a few things, and just run like a very, very similar creative to what they're scaling with right now. Not sure, Ruben. Can't you get this in store? I'm not sure because I'm not within this niche, so I couldn't tell you. But like there's loads of, I can't say specific examples, but even some of the stuff that I run, like you can buy in stores. But if you have good creatives, a good offer, good marketing, clean PDP, people will want to buy the product there and then. Like if you look at Doran Rose, for example, you can buy those silk sleeping masks in loads of different stores across the US and even in the UK, all on Amazon as well. And they still absolutely print. They still do like 30, 40k a day because everything else is dialed in. In this case, you can start right away targeting men age 30 and above. Would you just let Facebook do its thing? Just leave it open. Just leave it completely open. The only thing that I would recommend not leaving open is the gender. If it's obvious that the product is only for one certain sex. But even if you're going to have female woodworkers, right? So I would just leave this for both male and female. And all of the spend, most of the spend will go towards the male audience, and you'll have a lower spend that will go towards female. But even if it's lower spend, but it's profitable ad spend, then it's still worth doing. What's Ecom Flow like? Have you heard of good things? I don't know anyone personally who uses them. All I know is that, like, I use Yakify, and Yakify don't charge me any fulfillment costs. So how Yakify make money off me is essentially I'll connect Yakify with my factory, and they purchase the stock for me, and they'll add on a 10% fee. So let's say the cost of goods is $1 per unit, then Yakify will quote me $1.10 per unit, and they'll make 10 cents per unit on my bulk order that I place. But then the fulfillment cost, they don't charge me anything. Whereas Ecom Flow, they charge a pick and pack fee, which is what most 3PLs will charge you. So I believe Ecom Flow charge $1.20 per order. And then if you have additional products within that order, let's say you were selling the Pilates bundle that we looked at the start of the call, and that had 4 items that had to go into the order, they'd charge you the $1.20, but then they'd also charge you an additional fee per item that has to be picked and placed into that box. So it adds up. So Yakify not charging any fulfillment fee and just a 10% commission on the bulk order is very, 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 very competitive.
How many brands do you have at the moment, Cam?
3.
3. So what's your day-to-day like? Because I remember you saying the other day that you don't have to work that many hours. Like what tasks do you focus on now?
What tasks? Mainly just high level strategy and managing the team. So I'd say, like, when I say high level strategy, like, a lot of that is steering the ship and making sure that I'm continuously working on that moat for all of the brands, because it doesn't stop, right? Like, if you become stagnant, then you'll very quickly be overtaken. So I would say a lot of the time goes towards product development. So looking for new products to launch into these brands. And that can take time, especially if they're not off-the-shelf products from China, which for the most part they aren't. Most of the time it's sampling, high MOQs, negotiating with factories, research. So I'd say, like, a lot of the time is thinking time towards, like, product development and how I can, like, further push the brand forward. And then outside of that, team management is a big one. So obviously I still need to communicate with creative strategists. I still need to speak to the email team. I still need to speak to the Google Ads team. So still, like, team meetings, speaking to people, making sure that everything is running like a well-oiled machine, and then just doubling down on checking on, like, the finances. So I still do quite a lot of the forecasting of inventory. I still speak to factories a lot. So a lot of it is just, like, more the higher level stuff. I'm not in the trenches, you know, writing scripts. I'm not in the trenches scheduling emails.
Which part did you hate the most? Because I can't stand editing. I'm like, oh no, every time I sit down to do it.
I've never edited a video in my life.
Seriously?
Yeah, honestly, I've never edited a video in my life. It's always been outsourced. Yeah, honestly, like, I've outsourced for a long time, because I was quite lucky where I started, like, my first store started cash flowing from when I first ever launched it. So, like, as soon as that first store started cash flowing, I didn't, like, pull cash out on a personal level. Like, I reinvested into a team. Like, I got video editor, I got like an email guy. Like, I've always outsourced from the very, very start. So I've really not had to be doing, like, the dirty work for quite some time. Because, like, with like the video editing side of things, like, your creative that you just showed me there, the whiskey one, that actually looks really good. So you've done a good job of that. And back,
it's one of those tasks. Go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, back when I first started dropshipping, people weren't running creatives like this. People were running these creatives that were maybe like 60-second long videos, no voiceover. It was just, like, cheesy copyright-free music with just, like, text, a lot, like, subtitles along the bottom of their screen. So, like, I didn't know how to make them, so I always just got some cheap guy a $5 to maybe make me them for, like, £20 or $20, and that's what I ran for maybe the first 1 to 2 years of doing dropshipping. Whereas now, like, it's actually easier to make content yourself because you can just use CapCut and you can just get B-roll and put some, like, TikTok or CapCut text over the top of it, like you've done. So yeah, if I was starting off now and I wanted to put all of my cash into testing ads, then I'd be doing the same as you. But as soon as you start to get some momentum, then yeah, you definitely want to outsource that. Especially when it comes to ads, because ads is probably, if not besides product, like the most important part of the whole process. So if you're not good at video editing, then you're kind of fucking yourself, because you're not giving yourself the best chance at actually getting a winning creative and actually scaling the product. So you always want to get good people in to do these jobs that you're not good at.
Yeah, for sure. Coming from the fashion world as well, it's a different game, because you just throw a static ad up and
Yeah,
it prints,
yeah.
and you're like,
But even
yeah, I
product-
personally hate it.
have you tested statics on the? Did you launch some statics on the whiskey glass?
Not yet. So this is the first day of testing. So I just wanted to put those videos up. But it's funny, the statics on the knife sharpener were way better than the original video creatives that I had.
Yeah.
And I literally just put the offer in the ad
Yeah.
because I thought this offer's pretty good. Which it was, because I did myself out of a lot of margin, which I didn't realize.
Yeah.
But yeah, the statics were performing a lot better. So I should do that as well.
Yeah. What you'll find is this is like going back to the topic of how I spend my days, but actually like the most that you'll really work is at the start, when you're trying to get something off the ground. Once you actually get something that gets momentum and starts to scale, and just everything starts to come together and work, you actually find that you're working less, or you don't have to work as much, because when you're in the testing phase, it's a lot of work, because you need to build out new landing pages, you need to do product research, you need to build out creatives, you're doing the customer service, like you're fucking doing the order fulfillment, you're doing everything yourself. But as soon as you have something that's, let's say, making $300 per day in profit, and you've got some cash there, you then get a VA to come in and do all of your customer service. You then get an editor to edit all of your creatives. You then get a script writer to write all of the scripts. So suddenly, like, all of your time that you're putting into these other things is now completely free, and you have just like more time on your hands. And like I'd say that's one of the best positions to be in, because although I'm not like doing all of the grunt work myself, a lot of my day is genuinely just spent thinking. And I think all of the best founders, they have a lot of thinking time, because that's when they can like really strategically like plan out what their next move is. Like, what's the one next big catalyst going to be that's going to get them from like where they are now to like the next level of scale. So it just allows you to like free your mind up a little bit more, whereas like when you're first starting out, you're fucking in the trenches, you've not really got time for that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that, because when I was doing the fashion thing, I had a business partner, and he was doing creatives and I was doing all the rest, like the back end stuff, and there was quite a bit of free time to think. But like, yeah, at the moment, I truly get it. It's like you have no time to think, because you're so focused on landing pages, creatives, and like you can't strategically. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's hard graft, but it's once you get that first product that comes through that really does start to scale, which it's like definitely not easy. Like, I can't sit here and say it's easy, but I mean, it's doable, right? I mean, even on this call, like Baba came on, he's doing 5 to 10k a day. Zach's doing like 7k a day now. Like, it's way more common. Like, it's actually quite common for people to be making a lot of money in drop shipping and in e-com. And once you do like get that initial taste of success, like it really does open up a whole another world for you. You're actually like, holy fuck, like this actually can make some like serious cash. And once you hit that point, like you get fully addicted to the game. But as long as you're putting in the work, you just have to be. I just think it's a shame because so many people end up quitting, and it's like that famous picture where the guy's like digging for gold or digging for diamonds, and he's like, he quits when he's just about to fucking break through. I think so many people are like that within e-com. It's like if they just didn't quit and they just like kept on pushing and just accepted that failure is a part of it and losing some money on some product tests is a part of it, and they just like accepted that and kept on pushing, like way more people would succeed in e-com. Whereas like right now, probably like 2% of people actually succeed, and it's the people that are just willing to keep on pushing. How do you pay and manage a creative strategist? I have mine on an hourly basis. In regards to manage, we have a call every single Monday, just a check-in call, run over all the concepts for the next week, and then we do everything within Notion. So like we have all of our daily tasks within, or not daily tasks, our weekly tasks within Notion. So we'll have, let me send you a picture, I might have one here. Oh. See if I can do it off my phone. Yeah, it's not working. But basically we have everything managed within Notion. So he'll upload all of the concepts for the week ahead. And then within that, we'll basically have, he'll assign the whichever editor or graphic designer to that task. So if it's a static, the graphic designer will get assigned to it. If it's a video editor, one of the video editors for video creative will assign him to it. And then they're able to open up the task. I think I've mentioned this in this call. It'll have a reference video, and then it'll have rules for or reference points for the script writer. Then we have like a little drop down menu where we mention what status the job is in. So for example, he'll then change it to like script writing. So that's like, I can have a glance at the Notion document and I can see the status of what all of the concepts are in. So this one is in script writing. He writes the script, and then the script writer then changes the Notion template from script writing to ready for script writing approval. And then the creative strategist will go in and approve his script, make any adjustments, and then he'll then change it to ready for video editing. And then the video editor will get notified, and then he'll go ahead and do the task, and then we just like manage it that way as well. But yeah, we have the creative strategist on an hourly basis just to be able to keep him flexible. Yeah, so basically you'll just get a creative strategist to come in and do it all for you. We also get the creative strategist to do all the UGC briefs, and then he like manages all of the content in the Google Drives and stuff, and then he spends a lot of his time doing the research as well, which is like one of the most important parts, especially when you're doing like 7K a day like you are right now. Like you want to be looking at, okay, like what's going to get me from 7K a day to 20K a day. A lot of the time it's actually looking for new angles, and that just comes down to research and really learning your customer and your market even better. So one of the tips that I said earlier on in the call is on your post-purchase survey, have the option for customers to manually type in why they purchased the product, because you'll get new concept ideas based on that. And it's just about tapping into new angles and new concepts to scale up, and you're better off having a really good person doing the research to do that.
Hey, Ken. So
Yo, bro.
I have another product testing. Probably you know that this one. It's with
Yeah, I do.
Nikita.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to ask him, like he wanted to be in the call. Like I was talking about it with him,
Yeah.
and like we were thinking, like what should we do different than other competitors to like actually win in this market?
Sex. How's it going right now?
We already ordered custom packaging for it, so which is coming very soon.
Yeah,
Other
yeah,
than that, what should we do like, to improve on this? Thank you.
yeah. How's it going so far?
So we have been hitting like around 3 to 5K days.
What do you feel like yourself is missing right now, besides the custom packaging?
We are actually a bit confused about that. Like, I guess it's just like testing more creatives. Like, that's what I feel like.
Yeah, it's usually it's usually what it comes down to for the most part. Let me take a look. Yeah, this is very popular on TikTok Shop. Let me share my screen. Look at this. Maybe this is just a glitch, but I'll show you.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's actually the second link. Like, we changed the product images and some stuff.
Okay. Oh, this one.
Yep.
What's the conversion rate?
It's around 3 to 5%.
3 to 5.
Let me tell you the average. So yeah, it's 5.27%.
Nice, really good. Are you running you run no guarantee?
What do you mean by guarantee?
Like a money back guarantee?
Yeah, we do have a 30-day one. We don't like focus that much on it.
Okay, cool.
By the way, you are streaming Discord.
Oh, am I? Oh, let me change that. It looks good. What was your question?
Like what we can do better to like outperform the competitors,
Who's
other than testimonial.
who's the other main competitor? Can you send me that link?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Because it looks really good. The only thing that you're missing, which is similar to the last product, what could really take this to the next level is if you get a video of an authority figure within your landing page as well.
Video, okay.
Of an authority figure.
Authority fiber. What do you mean by that?
So, like, for example, if you were selling in skincare, for example, an authority figure within the skincare niche would be someone like a dermatologist speaking about speaking about the product. Like, because when you're in something like supplements and consumables like this, the biggest thing that you've got to win people over with is trust, because it's something that they're actually physically putting into their body. So I think you're doing like a really, really good job of the landing page. But if you were to actually get an authority figure, so it doesn't have to be like a real doctor or anyone like that, but if you go onto Fiverr, you can get people to act as authority figures for you. And if you could get someone to act as an authority figure around like vaginal health, like some sort of medical person, and get them included within some of your ads, and then also have them on your landing page as well, then that is massively going to build trust with the people who are watching your ads, and then the people that are also landing on your website as well. Because when you're talking about what can we do to outscale the competition, it's really just looking at the things that they're not potentially doing, but it's proven to work within markets like this. So in the health space, for example, if you look at Nouro, Nooro, which is a brand who are probably doing 20 million per month, a lot of what they, although it's not the same product as you, it's still within the health niche, and a lot of what they do is include authority figures within everything that they do. So that's one thing that if your competition aren't doing, I would definitely be the first to do before they do. But the landing page itself, there's nothing really to comment on, because it's very, very good.
Okay, so we got like new custom packaging. Like, my question is, would you change the like market or message in the packaging somehow? Or how do you make that differently for the new packaging?
How do you what, sorry?
How do you make ads for the new packaging?
How do you make ads engaging with custom packaging, did you say?
Yeah, how do you make ads for the new packaging?
Okay. How do you make ads within the packaging? Yeah, don't overthink about it. The packaging isn't going to be the main focus point of the ads, but it's just having your own custom packaging with your own logo in within the ads as well. So for example, you could have, as part of the B-roll, you could have a UGC creator like hold up the product next to their face like this. They can see the custom packaging. It says Nourora on it, and like they're just seeing. It's like if you look at Space Goods. If you look at Space Goods ad library, their actual ad isn't focused on the packaging itself, but customers can clearly see that it's their own product. The product has nice bright packaging, it says Space Goods on it, and subconsciously it's building just trust with the customer because they're seeing the logo on the product. So that's like the main thing. Just make sure that your brand logo is visible on the packaging, and people are seeing that within some of the B-roll clips that you're running. Same for static ads as well. Like, I would honestly say just go and look at brands like Rise Superfoods, look at Space Goods, look at Athletic Greens, and reverse engineer how they're incorporating their packaging into their creatives, because you're gonna do the same.
Okay. I sent you some competitors in the chat box.
Looks shit hot. Good sign. Yeah, the website is so nice. yeah, yours looks much better than this. These guys, which competitors do you feel like are outscaling you? Because that's the thing, when you say things like what can we do to beat the competition, you only really want to be focused on the competition that you feel like are ahead of you.
Okay. Yeah, like this one probably is scaling a lot. And then there is HappyV, who's like a different product, but very similar market. And they're doing very good.
Yeah, so you can see the difference between, let me see. So like what I was saying, this is just for the whole chat, but when I was saying to Ruben about like changing things within his landing page and making it look not tacky and making it look very sleek and professional, this would be an example of like how not to structure your landing page. Xmas special ends in with a countdown timer. It's very busy here. There's too much going on. Like even the bundles, they look very, very tacky. It just doesn't look sleek or polished whatsoever. It looks very dropshippery. Whereas if you look at Baba's example that he just posted, or even this competitor here, you can see the difference. It just looks very, very branded. It looks very clean. There's not too much scarcity there. Let's see how much traffic these guys are getting. Baba, have you had any feedback on the product and customers using it?
Not a lot, but some let me send them to you.
Yeah, I would say definitely the only thing that really stands out for me right now is getting the authority figure in place. And then if you were to get some good feedback from your customers, then definitely doing subscription as well. When it comes to subscription, what I would recommend doing is not actually running subscription on your front end offer like these guys are to begin with, because usually you'll see a lower conversion rate. So what you can do to initially launch subscription is just run your normal offer on your front end like you're doing, but then push a subscription offer through the back end through email to existing customers. So then you're able to start getting your first 100, 200, 300 subscribers, but then the front end, you're still able to acquire customers profitably at a high conversion rate. But yeah, honestly, I think you're doing everything right. I think, as you said, I think for you, it just comes down to testing more creatives and probably just increasing that volume and just spending more. I think you've got a very good foundation.
Thank you.
No, good job. Yeah, guys, that like really is, that store right there is really an example of how to do things, because yeah, Nikita and Baba have clearly put a lot of effort into that landing page, and it just looks very, very, very clean. Probably the best landing page that anyone's ever sent me within this Discord.
Also, Cam, like you could check our ads. So the interesting thing about our ads are very organic ones are doing very well.
Yeah.
You could check them quick.
I think Nikita has sent me these before, but let me have a look. Which is the best performing ad? I think he sent me this one before.
I want to tell you something about all these girls on here that are telling you these magical pineapple gummies will make your cooch smell and taste like pineapple, and it'll make it like a waterfall down there. Your guy will want to go down in you more often. They are full of truth. They were right. I've been taking them for a month and a half now, and they are absolutely right. With every...
Okay, y'all, I think he done. Let me go out. currently hiding under the bed because this man has been at him.
Leo, where you at?
How's this one been performing?
This one probably didn't get much spent, but the first one is one of the best ones.
Yeah, I remember he's into this. Something like this probably doesn't
First
get a
one
lot of spend because you take it almost takes 14 seconds into the video, or let's see, when does it almost takes 18 seconds before she actually starts like speaking to the viewer. Like it takes too long to actually get into the actual ad.
I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. My coochie used to be sour as hell, and now.
Have you tested different styles of creatives or just organic?
Oh, this is scripted ones. I've sent you one of our scripted ones in the chat box.
Look, I need to talk about something that literally made my life so much better. I used to be that girl who was constantly paranoid about smelling not fresh. Look, I need to talk about something.
This didn't perform?
It's still in testing and spending.
Yeah, because the thing is that you're getting into the product straight away. So sometimes jumping straight into the product, this could work well for middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. But like this as a hook isn't a very good hook.
Look, I need to talk about.
Like, look, I need to talk about something that literally made my life. It's too generic. Like, you need to be speaking more into the customer's pain points. And instead of just like, for example, where's that one? Give me 1 second. I'll show you. No, in fact. So this one here, it's too generic. It's not directly speaking to your customer avatar, and also you're speaking about a product straight away, which I wouldn't recommend. Whereas if you look at this one, for example, you can see that their hook, I hated the pores on my nose. It's not a generic hook. It's not like this product made my life so much better. Who you're actually trying to communicate with. Whereas this hook here, and you can see that this is a good ad, that's taken a good amount of spend. I hated the pores on my nose. So they're speaking directly to the pain point.
Hated the pores on my nose.
And then they don't introduce the product until like the 3rd or 4th second. I'm just going to play this ad just for the chat because this is like a really good ad. And just focus on what I've mentioned with the hook here.
I hated the pores on my nose. This mask saved me.
I feel like I've been struggling with large pores on my nose and cheeks my whole life, and I've literally tried everything. Serums, pore strips, you name it. I finally talked to my dermatologist and she said large pores come from excess oil, but there are ways to make them look better.
This is Dermatology's Pumpkin Enzyme Mask. It's gone viral all over TikTok and dermatologists recommended. I was a little skeptical, but it works.
I would leave it on once a week for 10 minutes. Once the mask was on, I started to feel it warming up on my face, and after I took it off, I noticed the results immediately. My face felt so much softer and deeply cleansed.
It leaves my skin so soft. I mean, look at my skin right now. I have no makeup on.
So like, instead of the creative that you've got here, like I would like restructure this, and it almost needs to be like your hook just off the top of my head could be like her speaking to the camera, but then it could be something like, my boyfriend didn't go down on me for almost 3 months. So instead of the hook being, this product has changed my life, and now you change that hook to, my boyfriend didn't go down on me for almost 3 months. Now you're building up like way more curiosity, and you're speaking to people who potentially are in that same position. You know, if some girl's there and like she's not having sex with her partner, and then she sees this ad and this hook, she's going to be like, oh shit, like I'm the same as well. Like she's interested, like there's genuine intrigue and curiosity there. And then you can then you need to do like more market research and what other solutions have people like her tried. So for example, yoni oil or yoni products, I think you call them, is also something that people try for like vagina health and to make it smell nice. So then you need to go into like the research, like I've tried You don't want to be generic, like, oh, I've tried other serums and other creams. Like, be more specific. Like, I've tried these Yoni products, etc., these gummies, and nothing has worked. And then you go into your product. So I think your main thing here is really the hook is very, 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 very weak.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, man. And like, what angles or what other things would you change in that other than hook and like the structure?
Let me see.
Would you try different angles or like something, anything else?
I think like vaginal. You mean other angles outside of vaginal health?
So we have like some angles, like one is BV,
Mm-hmm.
then there is like menstrual problem and irritations in vagina. So
Look, I need to talk about something that
we're
literally
hitting
made
like 2 or 3 similar angles like that.
Have you tested these other angles?
We're currently testing them.
Okay. Yeah, you're doing the right thing then. What was your question? Should you be testing other angles?
Yeah. Like, what other angles would you come up with? Would you spin off the angles, or would you just focus on the thing that's working?
No, I think to begin with, when you're first testing a product, then do what's working. But if you're already doing 3 to 5k days, and then you want to get to 10k plus days, then yeah, like testing different angles is super important. Like spin off other angles, like look at other similar competitors in the market, like this one here, for example. Look at their ad library. Are they running any other angles outside of what you're running? And yeah, like angle testing is definitely key when you're at the stage that you're at right now. So put a big emphasis on it. What you can do is you can have I'm not sure how you're testing your angles right now, but your angles don't always have to be completely unique videos. You could have like your main body video, and then the angle that you're testing could just be like the opening hook, and then the lead of the ad. So like the first like 10 seconds could be the angle testing, and then the rest of the main body video is like applicable to all of the angles, if that makes sense.
Okay, Cam, like this, I sent you one more video which is kind of similar to the structure you mentioned. You could check if this is the thing you are talking about.
If your kitty has a funky smell, you must know it. These are clinically proven to reduce vaginal and underarm odors. So they did a clinical study over a course of 14 days where the women literally had to wear panty liners, and the clinical researchers there had to test the before odor and the after odor, and every single woman in the study had reduced vaginal odor, some even up to 100%. And this is all because of their most potent Bacillus coagulans probiotic strain, organic pineapple enzymes, and vitamin C, so it's like an all-in-one for women. They get so much feedback about how even during the time of the month, like even those odors and even any hormonal based odors are gone. So if you want to feel confident, feel amazing, smell amazing, give it a try. It's 100% worth it, especially with their 30-day.
So this is good, but then what I would say is that this is like from the perspective of, let's say, like the brand. You like this isn't like a personal transformation framework. And if you look at your ad library, what you've been saying is working really well is these organic videos of people actually talking about using the product from first person perspective. So this is still good to test because you can see that the hook here is more in line with what I was talking about. But I would also test ads that are still like follow the same hook structure, but they're more following like the first person format, if that makes sense. So it's talking about someone's own personal transformation using the product. So as I said, like the hook example that I used was my boyfriends didn't go down on me for 3 months, and she's actually talking about her journey using the product, because then you're following a similar concept to what's proven to work for you right now, but it's like a spin-off of it, if that makes sense. It's more scripted ads.
Yep, makes sense. Thank you, man.
Oh, good, G. All right, cool, boys. I'm gonna have to dip off now. We've nearly been going for 3 hours, but it's been a really good one. I didn't initially plan to do these when I launched the Diamond tier, but if you guys have enjoyed it, then we can do more of them. Maybe I'll aim for doing like one of these every month. I think that's probably like a good frequency. It's a bit different to. I actually really like this concept as well, because it's different to what I usually do within the rest of the server. Yeah, I'll send you guys the recording right after. All good.